Guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. I'm just kind of contemplating my thoughts after watching the Tesla delivery event. This just happened a few hours ago. I was kind of watching. It was first off, my first impression is it was weird that the only way to watch it was on Twitter, or X, they call it now. And secondly, it was like in the afternoon when most people are not available to drop everything and spend 30 minutes watching a video. It almost seemed like Tesla just didn't want people to watch it. That was kind of my first impression. It wasn't like streaming on their YouTube channel. It was only on X.com, which is Twitter. Secondly, this event, Elon Musk comes rolling in. He gets out of the Cybertruck. He stands in the back, and he's like completely in the dark, and he's sitting there talking, and you can barely see him. So it's just kind of it was a weird presentation. There wasn't a lot of information shared, especially like about the trims, the pricing, the range. Those were like the three big things we wanted to know about this. I had to dig after the fact on the Tesla website. And under the Cybertruck, when you go to order now, you can now it lists some different options as far as trims and pricing and things like that. So I want to go into that. But a couple of things I want to share on the Cybertruck, kind of my impressions. It didn't seem like a lot of new information was shared at the Cybertruck event. A lot of the things have been shared on the earnings calls or shared from Tesla over the last year or so as they've been preparing for this. Also, nothing was talked about current reservation holders or how many Teslas are going to be delivered for the rest of the year. It almost looked like they made like 10 to 15 Cybertrucks to give away not to give away, but to deliver to customers. And that was kind of the extent of it. There was nothing told about what the production plans are and how it's going to get ramped up and things like that. So I was looking for more of that information. There really wasn't that. I'm just on the Tesla website right now, and if you go to the Cybertruck and then you go to order now, there's a new page on there where it tells the different trims. There is a rear-wheel drive version. I was wondering whether the rear-wheel drive was even going to be an option. There was reports that rear-wheel drive was going to get scrapped. There's just going to be a dual motor, tri-motor, quad motor, or something like that. But rear-wheel drive is there. 250-mile range, 0 to 60, 6.5 seconds. That's pretty slow. Available in 2025, so that makes sense that they're going to make that one last. But starting price $60,990. That's a really high price for a rear-wheel drive Cybertruck that barely gets 250 miles of range. That's a big stretch. The all-wheel drive, the middle trim, I think is maybe the sweet spot. $79,990. I think they did that because that's going to be the most popular trim because it falls under the $80,000 tax credit threshold for a truck. So $79,990 plus the $7,500 tax credit. But 340 miles of range. That was kind of where I was a little disappointed in seeing these stats, and that was the range of these cars. 340 miles, 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, and then 11,000 pound towing capacity. So the specs are decent on it. I don't like the range. And then the Cyberbeast. This is kind of the first I've heard of the Cyberbeast trim. I guess what would be called a plaid or a tri-motor. Kind of they're calling it the Cyberbeast. $99,990. So basically $100,000 for this Cyberbeast trim. Here's what I don't get though, guys. Yeah, it's got a really fast 0 to 60 at 2.6 seconds, 0 to 60. Tons of torque, 11,000 towing capacity, but it has a range of 320 miles, and I just don't get that. It really makes it, with a truck with 350 miles of range, it really just makes it not useful as a truck. Yeah, it's good for driving around town. Yeah, it's going to be good for commuting, driving in the city a little bit, but if you're doing long road trips or if you're doing actual truck things like going off-roading. When you're going off-roading, you don't have access to chargers as much. It's more off of the beaten path, and you don't really have access to chargers. And when you're towing, that range is going to be cut in half, if not more, when you're towing something heavy, especially 11,000 pounds that this thing is quoted to carry. I don't like the range estimates on these, so I'm a little disappointed in that. I have a reservation for a tri-motor. I guess that's the Cyberbeast now. With those kind of specs, if Tesla sent me an email like, hey, your Cyberbeast is ready to be delivered, it's $99,990, I would probably pass at this point. I would probably wait a year or two or however long it's going to take until the range increases on that. I would probably be more likely to go with the all-wheel drive version because, $79,000 plus the tax credit. But I don't like the range on that. 340 miles of range is not very good on that either. So overall, I'm not really impressed with the numbers on the Cybertruck. It almost seems like Tesla's just not ready for this. Like they kind of rushed it and they just threw together this delivery event. They threw together some vehicles to deliver, and then they might take a little more time before they really start ramping up. So I'm not impressed. I'm not happy with what we're shown here. Couple cool things I will point out. A couple cool things about the delivery event. One was the drag race against the Porsche 911. They did a drag race. The cool thing is the tri-motor Cyberbeast beat the 911 while it was towing a trailer and a 911 on top of that. So that was a pretty cool thing. The four-wheel steering, where the rear wheels are steering on it, that was pretty cool. And then also the tow demonstration where it showed the Cybertruck towing not a trailer, but it's one of those towing competitions with the trailer and the weight, and see how far it can tow as the weight increases on that thing. So that was pretty cool to see that the Cybertruck beat a Ford F-350 diesel in its actual towing capacity. And that really goes back to all the torque that this thing has on the Cyberbeast level. But $100,000 for Cyberbeast, that much money and that little of range. I'm probably not interested in it at that price and at that range. If it was $100,000 and it had 550 miles of range, something really really high, that would be a lot more interesting. I'd be a lot more interested in that. Guys, so it is some big news. It will be curious to know when these start kind of rolling out, and how does the delivery process work? How will the reservation selection process go? I have a reservation for a tri-motor that I got in. I did it like a couple months after the delivery event, so it was like early 2020 that I placed my reservation. So I don't know where I fall in as far as the reservations are concerned. Guys, well, thanks for watching the video. Leave your comments down below. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this Cybertruck. The delivery event wasn't that great. The specs on the car, the vehicle, are not that great, but I'm curious what you guys think as well. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.